So welcome to a practice that we are recording on Halloween, sometimes known as All Saints Eve or All Souls Eve. And the original tradition, Celtic tradition, was called Samhain. And this is a time when it's believed that the veil is the most thin between this life and the afterlife. And so there are a lot of dark traditions surrounding this holiday that involve, the wearing masks and the treats and the bonfires and sacrifices. There's some what I would maybe call, for me, dark traditions. I want to invite the light of this practice today. And so to me, that means welcoming the guidance of my ancestors and welcoming the guidance of those who I have loved and have moved on. So I have an altar right here, and you're welcome to do this practice again later and build a more formal altar. Maybe even this is something you just do tonight without the yoga practice. So if you do have something that it feels like an altar to you, I invite you to kneel or sit in front of it for a moment and just acknowledge what you've gathered here. So I have a photograph of my dad, Dennis, who was my namesake, wearing green, his favorite color today. 3 of my furry babies that have moved on, Louie, Lady, and Bear, are here with me today, and they are very much a part of my journey. I have candles lit. I have a couple of autumn leaves symbolic of this, the ending of a season and moving into the darkest time of the year. So candles are lit. I've got gourds and pumpkins, which are signs of protection, symbols of protection. And I also have black stones around my mat as a layer of just a barrier for this practice, for anything that is unwanted. So let's come into child's pose. We'll take our knees wide, we'll stretch our arms long, and I just invite you to take a few nice deep breaths here. Feel into your shoulders, your upper back, your rib cage. And maybe just shift your hips from side to side. Take a moment to just check in with body. All the separate parts that showed up here as one whole. Let's come up into a tabletop position, and we'll leave one shin on the floor. I like to kind of pivot the foot outward so that I can open up into a side plank, one leg extended, and we'll just make some arm circles here. I'm going to pay a lot of attention to the shoulders today, the chest, the upper body. So let's just see what's present here as we move through this very mobile joint. Some days it feels a little less mobile than others. Let's go one more time around, nice big circle. Go ahead and place that hand down and we'll switch. Opposite leg extends, reach an arm up, and begin the circle with breath. Begin to hear the sound of your breath, that reminder that I am here. I am walking this path here and now. Take one more nice big circle, reach up and over, and return to a tabletop. As we do a few cat and cow here, if you have a strap nearby, I'd like you to grab that. A belt, a tie, or a strap. And then when you're ready with a strap, we'll go ahead and have a seat. I'm going to use a cushion. You can sit on a block or whatever makes you feel most comfortable. And we'll do some shoulder flossing. So just stretching this strap out nice and long. Take a deep breath in, come up overhead. And then stretch your hands even wider to make it easy to glide down behind you, and then reverse. So we'll just do several of these and see if you can find the place where it's a little less straining, a little more easeful. And if it's a little too easeful, bring one thumb a little closer to the other. Give it a little more tension on the band. And then holding that strap behind, let's just hover up and down. That's probably the tightest place of that range of motion. And while you hover up and down, I'd like to offer us just an opening for this practice. So calling in source, spirit, God, the universe, even the word love, whatever word you use for that vast source. May this practice be an opportunity for healing, awakening, and remembering. May we see beyond our stories and see through spiritual eyes. May we see all moments and all souls as holy. May we step into the mystery with our hearts open and our minds clear. We ask for guidance and wisdom from our ancestors, our friends and loved ones who have moved beyond this physical realm. We ask for protection as they watch over us. We offer love, patience, and compassion for ourselves and for all. Go ahead and lower your hands to the sides and then just bring your hands up in front of you, heart center. Pause here for a breath. Bringing to mind a sense of gratitude for those who are very much a part of us. Those who made us who we are. Even if and when they challenged us. So let's bring ourselves up and around into downward facing dog. Take a moment to just wiggle yourself into this posture. Bending knees, shifting through hips, dropping chest and shoulders. Just wiggle as much of your body as you possibly can here. Find a little deeper breath as you just settle into your bones and skin and flesh. And then let's start to shift our bodies forward into plank and back into down dog. Keeping the knees soft and just, again, feeling mobility through the shoulders. You are welcome to be on your knees here for this. So tonight marks the end of the harvest season and the beginning of the darker half of the year. Tonight marks exactly halfway between autumn equinox and winter solstice. Samhain begins tonight at sunset as the sun goes down. Let's drop our knees to the ground, bring ourselves up to kneeling, and we'll just take the right foot forward, dipping the hips down into a lunge. Pause here for a breath or two, feeling that hip flexor open. Let's bring ourselves up and reach the arms behind as if you're grabbing a great big beach ball. Let your chest lift, let your belly lengthen, draw upward with your rib cage. Feel the arms behind you, an odd position because we live with them in front of us. And then back down again. Tucking the back toes, let's lift and lower that knee, just kind of coaxing the stretch down through the quadriceps. Deep breaths. And then as we come up the next time, tucking the toes under, let's slowly rise the arms up. Take a moment to find balance. So coming into this evening, an opportunity to celebrate the lives of those we love. Hands to heart, shift forward. Left hand comes down and we'll circle the arm again, just like we did earlier. Mobility through the shoulders. Here to pay respect to our ancestors. They are our DNA. One more time, nice big circle. Release that hand. Let's step the back foot to meet the front foot. Come down into ragdoll. Knees are staying soft, spine is long. Let yourself exhale. Nod your head yes and shake your head no. Pressing to lift halfway and exhale to lower. Let's do that again. Come into this nice little arch of the back, little back bend and lower. And one more time, lifting halfway. Let's lower down and we'll step our right foot back, dropping the knee to the ground, coming onto the other side of kneeling lunge. Beautiful. Just taking a couple of breaths here. And then let's press up, reaching the arms behind like you're holding a great big beach ball. Hug the shoulders together, draw the chest open, breathe deeply. And release, tucking the back toes. Let's lift and lower that knee a few times. Always asking permission of our muscles. I like easing in instead of just jumping right in. So let's keep that knee up. We'll slowly rise up to high lunge, feeling breath moving through our body. Fingers reach, hips sink. And then lower the right hand to the floor. Begin the circle with the left arm. You can drop that back knee if that feels better to you. Nice and slow, your greatest range of motion that is pain-free. One more nice sweet circle, hands to the mat, step the back foot to meet the front. Lifting halfway and then let's scoop the arms all the way behind and up. And then we'll scoop the arms again down and to the heart as we come into chair. So behind and up and behind and down. You can tell I'm just trying to really emphasize today getting arms behind us. I've been doing a lot of sitting and working and sleeping on my shoulders and I can feel it. So arms behind today. Hopefully that helps you as well. Let's go one more time, reaching high, press the feet into the earth, draw the hands slowly to heart center. Pause here for 3 deep breaths. And then again, we'll sweep those arms behind us, slowly sweeping up. Exhale to hinge forward and bow. Stepping the left foot back, knee drops to the ground. Inhale, arms up. Lower hands inside the foot. Press back, child's pose. Come up to tabletop. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. Inhale, cow. And come back to child's one more time. As we shift forward, step the left foot to the top of the mat. Tucking the back toes, lift the knee and fold forward. Rising up, arms come behind, and then hands to heart. So what we just did is called a super modified sun salutation. Let's do that again. Arms behind and up, deep breath. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, step the left foot back, drop the knee, rise up. And the hands come inside the foot, press back, child's pose. Let's inhale through cow and exhale, cat. Inhale, cow. And once again, child's. As we come up, left foot steps forward, rise up. And hands to the mat, tuck the back toes and return to forward fold. Everybody loud exhale. And lifting halfway, reach, take a deep breath in. Hands to heart. Really beautiful, everyone. Let's take our left foot back and just turn the foot flat, come into a warrior stance. And we'll play with shoulders a little bit more. So we're going to inhale up to warrior one and peel open to warrior two. And we're just going to do that a few times, both arms up, both arms down. Find a pace that works perfectly with your breath. I kind of pivot that back foot in and out. And as we open into warrior two, just scoot your feet a little bit wider, take a nice tall spine, and then let's reverse and side angle. Let's come back and forth here. Moving breath through the body. One more time, reverse warrior, straighten the front leg, and then come into triangle pose, tilting your body forward from the hips. Pause here. You can use a block. You can come up a little higher. Let's look for space, room in the body. Placing a bend in that front knee, returning to warrior two. Bring your hands to your hips. Turn all 10 toes to the side. Deep breath in. Beautiful. Arms behind. Reach toward or interlace. You can also use a strap here. On the exhale, fold forward. Knuckles to the sky, head to the earth. Deep breaths all the way in and all the way out. And as we return the hands to the floor, lift and lengthen to a flat back. Bring your hands to your hips, come all the way up to standing. Beautiful form, friends. You look lovely. Let's go to warrior one, facing the back of our mat. Let's pause here for just a moment, looking backwards. Symbolic of those who left the path behind us, the path that we're still walking forward on. So just in honoring and acknowledging, let's start to move with breath. Inhale, warrior one. Open up, warrior two. And pivot that back leg, just moving with ease. Up and out. One more time. Holding warrior two. Nice, good. Wide stance. Let's begin to move sideways. As we face this long side of the mat, symbolic of present moment right here in between the future at the front of our mat and the past at the back of our mat. And here in the present, we have this incredible gift of life, of breath, of body, of movement, of mortal experience. Gratitude here. Take a deep breath. Left leg straightens, come up high, and then shift into Trikonasana, triangle pose. Open yourself to this moment. The gift that this breath is, this practice is, this body, these friends, this technology. This present moment holds so many gifts. And place a bend in our knee, coming back to warrior one. Turn the toes, hands to the hips. Give yourself a moment, and then just shifting forward. Let's bring the hands down and surrender again to a forward fold. Feel free to take a moment here in playtime to explore with curiosity the way this body moves today. By bending and straightening, by shifting, practicing deep breath, moving into different body parts. And then lifting into a flat back for a twist. So you might want to bring a block under your hand for this. We'll start with the left hand under the shoulder, the right arm opening. And then exhale to switch. Take your time, slow the range of motion down, pause until that breath is complete, both on the filling and the emptying. When you've completed that, once again on both sides, go ahead and turn toward the top of your mat and return to forward fold. Pause here in ragdoll, fingers touching elbows. Ragdoll, deep breaths. So in Sean Corn's book, she talks about her father's last words, and they're so beautiful. He said to her, "For you to hurt this badly means you got to love that big. And if that's all you get in a single lifetime, you are more than blessed. That's all there is. Love. Love." Lifting halfway, sweeping the arms up, and bringing hands to heart center. So pause. For you to love that, for you to hurt this much means you got to love that big. Let's reach down and take a hold of this strap once again. And we'll do a little more flossing with a variation this time. So start with that wide and gentle space and begin the flossing up and over. Might be a little easier this time than the last. Maybe things have loosened up a bit. Good, Gail, it looks like you got a little longer strap. Do this up and over. All right, we're gonna come back and hover. So right behind the shoulder blades, just a few inches up and down. Stretching through the shoulders and chest, collarbones, all the goodness there. And then we'll reach the arms up into kind of a great big V or Y shape. Take your feet just a little bit wider so you have good foundation, and then lean your torso to one side. So you're going to keep tension on the band, and just one arm pulls down while the other arm pushes up. See if you can create that dynamic tension. Fill up with breath on the stretchy side. Fill up with breath on the worky side. And come back up to switch. Pressing up, pulling down. Breathing into the stretching side, breathing into the working side. And release. Let's drop the band. Shake out the hands. Roll your shoulders. Ooh la la. Okay, so take a pyramid stance. This is like a narrow warrior one. If our feet were on a clock, it would be 11 o'clock. I'm going to reach those arms behind, and let's see about interlacing. Lift your chest, and on the exhale, let's fold over the right leg. Head toward the earth, knuckles toward the sky. Breathing here. I'm going to release the hands to the earth, put a little bend in this front knee, and lift the back leg off the ground. Come into a 3-point balance. So we have some options here, playing with arms behind. You can stay where you are or press to your leg. And if you feel balanced, go ahead and bring your arms behind you in airplane arms, or interlace again. Ah. If your hands are lifted, let them lower. Step back again into forward fold. Fingers touch elbows, ragdoll. Might feel like your legs are lopsided. One's longer than the other. Breathe deeply, and we'll go even this out. Let's press to shins, sweep the arms up, take a nice deep breath in. Hands to heart as we step back with our right foot. Small stance, short stance for pyramid. Good. Let's reach behind, either towards, grab a strap, or interlace. And then we'll hinge forward over the left leg. Whatever your hands are doing behind you, try to lift them to their highest edge, pain-free. Highest place they can go without pain or strain, just big sensation. Releasing the hands, softening the knee. Let's lift the back leg off the ground. An option to stay right here or press up. And then if you enjoyed playing with arms behind, you could take airplane arms or a bind. In this pose, in this moment, embodying love. Embodying love. If your hands are up, lower them down. Pose is always over when the instructor falls out. Ragdoll, exhale. And then let's lift the arms, or lift the torso, sweep the arms. Deep breath in. And hands to heart. Playing with a little bit of balance. So you might want a chair to hold on to if balance is a little wobbly today. Your strap might be helpful as well. We're going to start by picking up our right knee. So pick up the right knee, find your footing underneath your left, and then reach down and tug that knee in. Give a little squeeze at the hip crease. Breathing, squeezing. And then we're just moving from here to a version of dancer's pose. So you're going to slide your right hand down your right ankle and just scoop that leg behind you. It's going to look like this. And my hand is on the outside of the ankle for right now. You do have the option to turn your hand to the inside of the ankle, which is a little more of a shoulder opener, but a little more challenging. So opposite arm comes forward and you can stay here or begin to kick. And just find a little more space in the front of the body by kicking backwards. And breathe. Feel, experience this, whatever this is. And a loud exhale. Whew. Whatever happened or didn't. Big exhale. Let's draw the left knee in. Standing on the right, just hugging in. Balancing poses. Bring a little heat to the body. They require deeper breathing. Notice the heart speeding up. Just take deep breaths. And then let's slide the left hand down the shin and just scoop that foot behind us. Holding something if that is helpful. And then we have the option, hand outside or hand inside. And if you like, opposite arm reaches, and we begin to kick into dancer's pose. Less strain, more ease. And if that means grabbing a wall, give yourself some support to find ease in these postures. And release and shake it out. Let's find Tadasana. Feet hips distance, palms spinning forward, shoulders on our backs. Just feel yourself standing here alive and well, breathing, strong, being in the moment. The only place we can ever truly live is in this moment. Let's sweep the arms up, deep breath in, and fold forward. Returning to a tabletop for cat and cow. Just moving with breath. And then let's bring ourselves around to a seat. We'll come into butterfly pose. You can be on a cushion or off, whatever feels best to your body. Knees out wide, hold on to the ankles, and first bring your chest forward. So come with a nice long spine. If your body invites it, gently press elbows to inner legs, lengthen through the chest and spine. And if your back feels healthy and happy today, then go ahead and add in a rounded back, head toward the feet. So Sean's dad went on to say, that is all there is, love. And his final advice to her was this: love big, forgive always, do good, and don't be an asshole. That's yoga. That's a life well lived. It's really that simple. End of story. Love big, forgive always, do good, and don't be an asshole. Sounds like a dad thing to say, doesn't it? We're going to release and take our legs out into a wide straddle. Again, creating support if you like. Start by leaning the chest forward, the hinge happening from the hips. Maybe we pause right there. And then depending on what your lower back says, perhaps rounding forward feels good. If not, stay lifted and support yourself on arms or hands. Let's start to make our exhales a little longer now, almost like a sigh. Release and surrender. So is there a place in your life where you can use the guidance, the wisdom of someone you trust who has walked this path before you? Is there a question or a challenge? Something you're trying to overcome and you just need that support from that trusted loved one? Many traditions believe that now is the time to ask. And the belief is that these loved ones can come to us in our dreams with answers, with wisdom, with guidance. So after a practice like this, don't be surprised if your dreams contain a loved one with some kind of message. Let's bring ourselves up, nice tall spine, and we'll start to draw the legs together. Let's go the opposite. So clearing the flesh, fingertips behind. So we've done all that arms back stuff today. Let's do one more. So option to stay right here and just expand and breathe. Option to lift the hips into Purvottanasana. So lifting and expanding with some strength, which feels best to your body today. And we're here for 3, 2, 1, and release. Clear the flesh once again and let yourself fold over your legs. Grab whatever you can, ankles, feet, toes, a strap. And once again, surrender into a forward fold. Feel the breath in and out of your nose. Each inhale lengthening the spine even more. Maybe audible sighs here. And returning to a seat. Let's go ahead and lower down onto our backs, hugging knees into chest. Give yourself a nice little squeeze here. Maybe little circles or ovals on the floor. And let's squeeze the right knee into the chest. Let the left leg fall flat onto the floor. Moving into spinal twist. So this leg draws across. You might shift a little bit to the right first. Right arm extends. Turn to look over your right shoulder. Exaggerate the breaths here. Breathe a little deeper than you normally do. To hurt this much means you loved that big. If we get that once in a lifetime, it's a gift. It's a blessing to love that big. Softly and slowly return to center and switch sides. Left knee comes in, give it a good squeeze first. And across the body, left arm extends. So I want to learn to love the way my pets love. Sometimes I wonder if that's the purpose of being a human, is to learn from our animals. To love so playfully and unconditionally, without any judgment, without any grudges, loyal. I want to learn to love like that. Good, easing yourself so gently back home, knees to chest. And this time, let's take the knees out wide and back in. You can continue this or take happy baby if that feels good to you, pressing tailbone down, squeezing the thighs, ankles, or feet. Reaching through the crown of the head as your tailbone tries to press down, so the whole spine lengthening and pressing. So we're going to place our feet on the floor and come up into supported bridge. After that, we'll do legs up the wall. So if you want to go to a wall today for legs up, you could use that as your shavasana. So if you have a wall nearby or even a chair or table you want to put your feet on, just position yourself and be ready for that. So we can start with supported bridge with this prop just beneath the hips. Make any little wiggles and adjustments you need to feel really supported and comfortable here. And then some people like to extend one leg or two legs out just to stretch across those deep hip flexors. If that feels good, go there. If not, one or zero legs straight. Let's begin to find a breath that comes in and swirls around the crown of the head. And that leaves our body like a wave from top to bottom, pouring out of our toes. Inhale invites breath to come in and swirl around the crown of the head. And the exhale is just like a wave, just rolling down over the body. So option to take the legs up into the air right where you are, or position yourself at a wall. Takes a little scooching to make that happen. I can show you a quick trick for getting up to the wall if you ever struggle. So we would place our cushion there at the wall and we'd sit sideways. So you've got one thigh against the wall. And then as you lower your back to the ground, your legs just kind of do this little ninja swivel. And there we are. Legs literally up the wall. So however you have found yourself, continue that breath of swirling through the crown of the head and imagining a wave, just helping that breath move on. Those of you who are in legs up the wall, you can stay here. If you are more comfortable in Shavasana, you can release the legs and lie flat on your back. Let's each take about 5 more deep and slow breaths wherever we are. Breath moving upward and breath moving downward. And after those 5 breaths, begin to just gently and softly move your body. Maybe stretching overhead and rolling to one side. Eventually returning to a seated position. As we come to our seats, I invite you to make a bowl shape with your hands. And I have this bowl in my bedroom to remind me of the value of an empty bowl. And its value is in its emptiness, because in an empty bowl, we can place anything. A full bowl is limited to what it holds. So as you hold your hands in this shape, I'd like to share with you the words of my dad. He was an artist and he liked to draw and write his thoughts with his drawings. And we found a picture of a leaf in one of his books. And he says, "The beauty will be in the plainness, the uncomplicated, And the grandeur of it all will be felt when you realize it's just being itself and nothing more. It's just being itself. So I invite my dad to be a guide to remind me of the wisdom of simplicity, of emptying out, of being open to the mystery. I invite our light guides with their wisdom, our ancestors, to inform us, to guide us, to protect us on this night. And the veil is a little more thin. May we be awake and aware, grateful. Thank you all for joining me today. Namaste. Hi, my friend. Thanks for taking time for yourself today. If you ever want to practice with me live over Zoom, jump over to my website, denisestruce.as.me, grab a class. They're all free or by donation, or just continue enjoying these videos here.